Up next, add fractions. So as promised, now instead of just putting in what the equivalent numbers are, now we're actually going to use those to do the addition. And I like that they're sticking with 10 and 100 because it means that we only ever have to multiply by 10, right? Later on, we're going to have to figure out numbers to multiply by, find common denominators, all that other stuff. Right now, they're just trying to get you used to the idea that you can take bigger chunks, cut them into a larger number of smaller chunks, and now you've got chunks that are all the same size, so you can add them directly. So 20 over 100 plus, 20 over 10 plus 12 over 100. Well, 20 over 10 is the same thing if I multiply the top and bottom by 10. In other words, if I cut each of the 20 tenths into 10 pieces each, that gives me 200 over 100. Plus 12 over 100 is 212 over 100. And again, we're not too particularly worried about reducing fractions at this point. We'll get there, but for now, 212 over 100 is a perfectly viable and acceptable answer. I bet that if we did reduce it, Khan Academy would still accept it. So if your student has gotten to this point and they are already ready and willing to lower these fractions to their lowest denominator or their lowest value, please do. Allow them to simplify those fractions. It's great practice. 212 hundredths. I already see, or I can already hear some of you going, yeah, no kid's going to do fractions for fun, but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many students really love math and really enjoy getting into math up until they're told by adults that math is no fun and sucks. Remember what you're doing when you tell your kids, your students, that you don't like math or that you are never good at math. You are directly discouraging them by telling them that it's a thing that can't be learned or that's very, very difficult. It's not, so long as you apply yourself and have a teacher that understands your learning style. Which I don't, because this is a video, but here we are. Okay, so we've got 11 over 10 plus 4 over 10. Well, that's 15 over 10. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, you can. Good. 11 over 100 plus 4 over 100 is 15 over 100 indeed. Now again, this 11 over 10 isn't really 11 over 10, right? It's actually, I mean it is, but it's also 110 over 100, which indeed does add together to make 114 over 100. So that's correct. Add 13 over 10 plus 4 over 100. Well, 13 over 10 is 130 over 100. Again, you're kind of just adding a 0, right? You're kind of just adding a 0 to the 13 and adding a 0 to the 10. I don't really like thinking of it that way. What you're really doing is multiplying by 10, as we've seen before, but you're kind of just putting down a 0. So 130 plus 4 is 134 hundredths. And then finally, we've got 30 over 100 plus 16 over 100 equals 46 over 100. No problem. That's adding fractions with denominators of 10 and 100. Hopefully, as you continue, you will be able to expand this knowledge so that you can multiply by any number other than just 10 to get a common denominator that makes sense.